Welcome to Spark. I'm Terry Hibbert, founder of Imagine Lighting, and I'm here today at the Biltmore.mp4, joined by Marie Soliman, founder of Bergman Interiors, David Mason, Director of Interior Design of Scott Brownrigg, and Tom Hoop, the Senior Design Director of Hilton EMEA. David, how is hotel design being influenced by changes in how we live?
I think it's constantly evolving. I think the way people live is changing all the time, and people want to actually live, work, and play all in the same place.
So it's an evolving process, but it means that when you're designing a hotel, you're looking at society and you're responding to the way people live their lives nowadays.
Now a hotel is not just a few nights stay, it's almost like away from home to another home.
Now it's like
more relaxed, chilled.
Come on in. This is your place now as well as as much as it is ours.
Mm.
Do you feel the role of a hotel is changing, and do they have a new context in the community?
I think the way we approach hotels has changed hugely in the last few years.
Mm.
I think if you go back 10, 15 years, hotels were insular buildings. Now when you design a hotel, you actively encourage the guests to go out and explore the community so they experience the location they're visiting.
Councils are under pressure now to say whether or not we actually need any more hotels. So I think for the operator, it's important for them to talk about how we can give something back to local community.
What we see as well, that now the hotel has workshop for artists, artisan, even jewelry makers.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to Milan and then there is that man coming to actually teach you how to bend the metal and how to set the jewelry and the diamond or the precious stone, and you feel that wasn't the concept in hotels before. Now the hotel is a hub for designers and artisan and locals and how to grow your fruit, and it's so much changing in a very fresh way.
Tom, is workspace design and hotel design converging? And does the idea of a hotel as a workspace or office influence your design?
Yeah, I think it does, absolutely. I mean, if you look at what's happening in the two sectors, if you look at workplace, there's a rise in the notion of what they call the frictionless office space. So people are less tied to their desk and more likely to travel and work in other locations. And there's also this notion of people wanting to work in a social environment. So it's this idea of when you can travel, you can be alone but not lonely. People choose to work in a social space. And so hotels lend themselves brilliantly to that scenario. So when we look at lobby spaces and how you activate them and how you keep the buzz in the space, treating that as a social convergence point or a co-working space is something that adds kind of buzz and elevates the space.
Being a multi-sector practice, we bring in workplace teams into when we start designing for hotels as well. So we value their input as much as what we bring to the table as well.
5 or 6 years ago, it was all about the business center. You go and you print your stuff or work on the laptop or on the computer. Now from the lobby, you have different as well seating areas, different dynamic. High bars that you will sip your coffee like an Italian, but replying your emails, you don't have to sit on a big couch or so. So the lobby space and many of the spaces in the hotel is such a dynamic hub for everyone to enjoy.
I mean, hotels are a great place to embrace the move towards co-working.
Yeah.
How has the rise of importance of sleep and well-being affected how you design?
I think we're just getting busier and busier, aren't we? And I think it's all about sleep at the end of the day, and we all want that experience where you can actually just go anywhere and be able to sleep.
Society has embraced the notion of well-being and wellness, and to your point, David, I think that ties into this always-on lifestyle and being able to kind of counteract that. And also the fact that the way hotels work now, people are tending to, or there's more inclination to work outside the guest room, and that leaves the room as a space that can become more of a sanctuary for sleep, and we can design for it because there is this market for it.
I mean, it's that windowless room concept now as well that's pretty much taking a lot of flight, and that's all about this tranquil space. So it's all about the aircon, it's all about the soundproofing, it's all about the simplicity of the lighting and of the room. Tellies are often not even included. It's just about sleep.
The quality of the air in the room, how the air is filtered through the air condition, the water in the shower, the mattress you're using, but even the little touches to give a pouch of lavender to create that hygge or that culture, how to put, or the sleep hygiene, we always say how to sleep, and they as well explain this. So again, it's giving that extra to the guest to help them to understand something new that maybe they didn't start back at home.
Marie, how do you go about adding your design aesthetic to a hotel, a space which has to appeal to so many, and does that design have a story?
So it's almost like you do a research of the culture and what is the offering around you. So if you're in Italy, you want to feel you are in Italy. If you go to Sweden, you want to feel that you are in Scandinavia. So we always create we do our research, the culture, the color, the texture, the cuisine, how people even dress, and we embrace that history and weave it into the modern way.
I think design aesthetic is not something, it's not a whim that gets imposed on a scheme.
No.
I think when we're looking to work with designers and to design hotels, we're looking to look into the guest profile, the location, the brand, and create this narrative that ties it together. But it's the narrative or the story that makes this hotel unique and gives it its own character.
As designers as well, we try to make it not too literal or pastiche either. We want to do it at a deeper level almost that sort of reinterprets it. And when customers go there, then they do get that understanding of why there's a connection, but it's not so literal that they go, but they still feel it.
Tom, what do you aim to deliver that enables guests to personalise their stay and how they use the space?
It's this notion of you can travel the world, but you can be you wherever you go. And that comes really from designing flexibility into the spaces. So through the lighting, through the choice and style of the FF&E, and to enable the guests to use the spaces the way they want to use them. So how they work, where they work. So I think designing in flexibility is key in the way we develop brands and products and interior design now.
So now it's not just a dining table. Before there was a desk and a dining table, or the other way around. Now it's one unit that it's sit, work, play, eat, invite your friend. It's the whole component. It has all the technique savvy things, where to charge your laptop, your iPad, all the plugs, even pads to write your notes and then wipe it off. So there is so much you could do to one piece of furniture rather than adding a desk and a table, for an example.
Marie, David, most new build hotels are designed 3 years before they even open. How do you ensure that it's up to date in terms of its design, technologies and innovation?
Of course, technology is changing every month, so we can always, and this is what we are doing in one of our projects, because it will be launched in 2022. We give the outlets and everything, and we just wait till the last year or last 9 months on site to see what is the latest socket now that will be used, or the latest plug. So there are as well tricks how you make it work. If you give Bluetooth, might as well that will work between your phone, iPad, TV, so you as well covered a whole, this is a big win. So this is how we start designing. We can always, even things have been signed off, and I'm sure you have the same, you could always revisit it, but not too much, if you have followed that sense of place from the beginning, followed a luxurious or timeless materials that should always be timeless for the next 15 years.
Obviously, we, as a design practice, try and push forward with our thinking always, but as long as it's connected to sense of place, the people, the community, you've always got that connection, and it does give you that timelessness.
And finally, what does luxury mean to you all?
Luxury of combining everything around you in that hotel, in the culture, in the cuisines around you, and giving that experience, or creating that experience that takes you from morning to afternoon to evening, to actually make the guest feel happy, excited, zen, alert, passionate. For me, that is luxury.
Because as a designer and producer of decorative lighting, quality is a given, and luxury is more than just the quality of the product. It's about the authenticity of the production process. It's about the story behind the product being produced, and it's about the craftsmanship and the attention to detail of the actual product.
Fundamentally, you often come back to authenticity and attention to detail, whether you talk about design or service or whatever it might be. I think one important thing to recognise is luxury means different things in different locations. So in an urban setting like this, serenity or green space is a luxury.
Luxury is different for everybody, and and people are a lot more travelled now as well. So that you're taking elements from all different cultures now, and you see things very, very different the more that we globally travel. So luxury isn't about the best of the best anymore. It's about comfort. It's about familiarity. It's about what makes you feel good as a person.
How to build memories. That is luxury.
But you're right. It's not generic, but it is all around us, and people are more exposed to it than they once were. So it does often come back to authenticity and handcrafted and locality as well, and how you deliver what's right for the setting you're designing it within.